What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I had Luke and Leif on the pod.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you both here. We're using my brand new sort of amazing piece of technology here so I can have multiple people on the pod at once. And you guys are the first to test drive it. How amazing is that?
It's so amazing.
So good.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
Well, and this is your first time at my house. I'm happy to have you here.
Gorgeous home.
It's been amazing. We had a delicious meal. Thank you, James.
Thank you,
Yes.
James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you,
Best
James.
omelet of the year.
That's like high praise.
Yeah. No. it
Especially
deserves
as someone who loves eggs.
I love eggs.
Yeah.
I also love eggs. I think that they are sort of like an amazing way to get protein.
Yep.
So it's so important to kind of like start your day with breakfast.
I agree.
So true.
Do you eat breakfast every day?
I do. Yeah. I'm a breakfast person.
I'm a breakfast food person, but I'm not a breakfast time of day type of person. So you can catch
Sure.
me making and bacon, egg, and cheese for lunch.
See, I'm kind of the same. For me, I feel like it, especially now that I'm remote, it's been like, okay, we're having a breakfast, but it's maybe at like 1 p.m. and that's the first thing
Yes.
I've eaten all day.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. I'm also like a convenience is king kind of guy.
Oh, 100%.
With all forms of making food. So I'll do like meal shakes. Like,
Okay.
like literally
Oh,
like
wow.
Huel is like,
Wait.
it's like the equivalent of like Soylent basically.
Oh, no.
But it is, I will, I'll back it up. It is so good and it's so easy.
I did not know that about you.
It is so well, because I am like, especially honestly, like it is all the like essential vitamins and nutrients you need in there.
Sure.
And like it's mostly just water. So even like after a night out, frankly, I wake up and I'm like, I need a Huel shake. It'll like
Wait,
bring me
that's
back to life.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had Soylent. I have
I've never
never
had
had those. So I have a friend who was pretty into Soylent for a while, and I was kind of like, but what about like a good meal? Don't you sometimes
No,
just
I'm
want...
like, give me a bagel.
And I also still will make eggs and like hash browns. I love that stuff, but it is like so nice when you just need something quick and easy. And it's like,
Yeah, that's fair.
It honestly, I really think it tastes good. It is so good.
That is actually
Yeah.
hilarious. Now I'm kind of like, good thing that your work provides you with breakfast and
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah.
Otherwise,
No.
I feel like there would be a lot of Soylent in your future.
Yeah. I wish I admire people who like to cook, like
Yeah.
James. I wish I felt fulfillment from that
No,
and got
same.
excited to do it, but it just feels like a chore.
I think so too. And I also famously hate the part that comes before cooking, which is going to the grocery store.
Totally.
And it's like, if I can't get myself to do that, then I can't. seem
And
to
you
get
know what? I
myself in
hate the stuff that
kitchen.
comes after cooking. The
Yeah, the
dishes.
cleanup. So
No,
true.
thank
Like all the
you.
parts of it are bad.
Yeah.
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 I wish that I liked cooking. Neither of us were very into cooking prior. And I feel like in Madison, it was much easier to pretty much eat out every day. Like,
Yeah,
it was a little bit
totally.
easier on the pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that here. So he was like, well, if you're not going to do it, I think I have to learn to like this. And now he really likes it. And I'm like, well, amazing for me.
Yeah, that's
Love
nice.
that.
That's amazing.
Us, we kind of have like a little bit of a curse and a blessing type situation. We live across the street from Trader Joe's,
Okay,
which
so
is
true.
so nice for convenience, but
Yeah.
it really reduces my like willingness to learn how to cook.
100%.
Yep.
I will say Trader Joe's is such a good place though for people who maybe don't like it as much, because like half the stuff that they have there is like half made or
Yep.
already marinated, or
Yep.
they already do some of the steps for you.
Yeah.
It's
Most of the
nice.
dinners I make is like a Trader Joe's meal where I really just have to put it on the stove for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
the best.
easy. And they do a good job catering to like single adults.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whereas,
totally.
So
like,
true.
when I go to like a normal grocery store, like a Jewel Osco, it's like if I buy like a loaf of bread, I'm not going to eat this loaf of bread in time.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I
like,
know the
I-
proportions are just too
yeah,
much.
Way off.
Yeah.
Way off.
Even like you get a bundle of cilantro or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I only need a fourth of this.
Right. Or
This
like a
is gonna
pound of
wilt.
ground meat.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to eat all that?
I know.
Yeah.
Cooking meat is also kind of scary. I think
yeah.
if I think about it too hard, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not sure
Totally.
if that's
Totally.
my vibe.
Totally. I ebb and flow with meats. I'm on and off with sweet greens chicken right now.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like the texture. I
I
can't
feel
do
that.
it.
Yeah, no, kind of same. Chicken is the one meat that I feel a little more confident in cooking. Red meat, there's no way in hell that I'm putting that on the stove, in the oven. I can't. The grill.
I'm a meat thermometer girl, though.
Yeah.
I'm like shoving that stick in any
Right.
piece of meat I can just to make sure.
So fair.
Have you had a bad experience?
Not necessarily. I just don't trust myself.
Yeah.
So it's too scary for me. Not worth the risk.
Totally.
I just like, yeah, I'm not even, I love meat. I don't really eat veg all the time, but I feel like if I'm cooking for myself, it's probably going to be a vegetarian meal because
Yeah.
it's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze.
No, that's what they say.
I don't eat beef or fish.
Okay.
And particularly fish. I've never liked fish. I think fish is just
So you don't eat
gross.
sushi?
Sushi was the one form of fish that I used to eat before, but it's only like fish was never the part that I liked about it.
Sure.
Like I thought it tasted good, but it was like
You're like an
'cause of the other
avocado roll
stuff.
is just
right.
the
And I
same.
do think like sushi in particular. I love like a veggie roll still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I love the feeling of being full off of sushi because it doesn't feel like too much. It's not too heavy.
Yeah, I agree.
And I wish I liked fish, but my mom never liked fish, so I didn't try fish until I was like 13.
Okay.
And I remember people would always be like, "But what about like salmon? Like salmon tastes like chicken." And I'm like, "It tastes like fishy wet chicken."
Yeah, so true.
So I would rather
yeah,
have chicken.
yeah, that's completely
Yeah.
fair. I'm not a big fish person, but I feel like as a Wisconsinite, I do love like a fish fry.
A fish fry.
Yeah.
The culture behind a fish fry is so fun. Am I going to go there and get
100%.
chicken tenders? Yeah.
Totally.
But I'm going to be at a Friday night fish fry.
Yeah.
I've never been to a fish fry.
Have you not?
no.
Oh, we might have to change
We have to
that.
get you to
Oh my
one.
gosh,
Yeah.
I thought that was like a thing they did in the South.
No, it's so Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What?
I actually worked at my first job ever in high school. I worked at, have you guys ever been to Quivy's Grove? It's like out in
No.
Verona. So it's this crazy restaurant where there's kind of like choose your own adventure vibe. You can either eat in the barn, which is like burger and fries vibes.
sure,
Or you
sure.
can eat in the house, which is like steak and potatoes vibe.
Oh, okay.
And I worked in the barn. I was a hostess, at like 16 or whatever. You wear like a little polo. I left that place smelling like fried food pretty much every night of the week. And on Fridays in the summer, they did Friday night fish fry. And working that was like literally so crazy. I was a runner. There was pretty much 3 options you could choose from. It's like the cod, whatever. There's like 3 different types of fish, and you're just like slinging these things out to these people. And you could either eat in the barn, or they would set up like this whole outdoor eating area. And yeah, that was kind of I went back there after my first year of college as well. Classic. When
You
you
have
go home
to.
that summer.
Victory
Yeah.
lap.
But you
Crazy.
come back that first summer and it's like you own the place.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's like, yeah, I just went to college and now I'm back.
Yeah, I'm famous.
Do you remember
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I'm doing big things now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Big city girl.
Yeah.
Moved downtown.
I still go back. I worked at Fleet Farm, if you're familiar.
Oh my God, of course.
Totally.
He
Which
like
is,
ran Fleet Farm.
I ran Fleet Farm.
That
I
actually
was
makes
Fleet
a
Farm.
lot of sense.
And I still to this day when I go back, because I'll go and look at their Carhartt stuff,
Totally.
the man's mall. And I walk in and I'm like, well, what? No one's gonna say hi to me. No
Yeah.
one's gonna say, Luke, you're back. I haven't worked there in a decade. No one. It's none of the same people.
You're like, no one recognizes me.
Totally. I'm walking by. I'm like, hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Tammy.
You're like, they must be playing it cool.
Yeah. They're probably
Oh my
intimidated by
God.
me. Yeah.
Wait, so were you there around the time of like the beef of the fallout between planes? Is that real?
I
Is the
what
lore
is this?
true?
Well, Farm and Fleet versus Fleet Farm.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't-
two different
oh
places.
my goodness.
Two
Yeah.
different things.
Wait, there's a place called Farm and Fleet.
Yeah, and a
Yes.
place
No
called Fleet Farm, and
way.
they are
And they're
the
brothers.
exact
No
same.
way. I did not know this.
Except one's colors are orange and one colors are blue.
Oh,
Fleet Farm
wow.
was orange.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
Crazy.
Fleet Farm is the bigger one, right?
I think
I
it
don't
depends.
know. Oh
my
I think it's
gosh.
regional.
I think it's regional.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
kind of like divided up their territories, and they're like, you can have
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
My
The house that built me, Fleet Farm.
That's honestly iconic.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
my first job was I worked at like a self-serve frozen yogurt place right during like 2011 to 2013 when those were like popping.
Oh my God, the
Very,
froyo boom was
very,
major.
Is that where what it was?
No, I worked at this place. I think it was just local to Minneapolis called Yogurt Lab.
Okay.
And it was
Oh my
like,
God.
it was literally like a self-serve frozen yogurt place, and it was all science themed. So like
Classic.
the menu of flavors looked like the periodic table of elements.
No.
Yeah, totally. And thank God this wasn't a thing by the time I worked there, but like right when they opened the locations, everyone had to wear a lab coat. I never
Shut
had-
up.
Yeah. straight up. Like but it was just such a fucking funny first job. And I remember there was this time where, we had kind of like a micromanager, and my location happened to be like right
Classic.
under the offices that where they managed of the few like the locations. And one time my boss, it was usually 2 or 3 people on each shift, and there's like you're either working the register or you're downstairs like mixing we would make the fucking froyo in the back. Anyways, and like chopping up pomegranates for like 6 hours straight. Anyways, and like it would be so slow. We were open till like 9 p.m. and it's like January in Minneapolis.
For
It is
sure.
negative 10 degrees outside. No one is coming in for froyo. And one of my coworkers was just chilling behind the desk, and she got a text from one of like the guys upstairs that said less leaning, more cleaning, because she was like leaning against the wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And there was another
Like, what
time.
are they seeing that on the cameras or something?
Yes, watching cameras.
Oh my God.
And then this same dude, he there was one time it was in the summer, and every day after school, like at like 4 p.m., we'd have this huge rush of like literally 30 7th graders. It was awful.
Oh my God.
And
that's classic.
yes, it was, yeah. Oh my God. And I was like 17 at the time. And so these like, but I famously look young. I just have a baby face.
Totally.
So when I was 17, I looked like I was probably 13. So I was getting like 7th graders numbers when I was like a senior in high school. Yeah. They would like write their numbers on like these little green spoons. I was like,
oh my
"Please,
God.
get out of here."
First of all, brave.
Yeah, and kind of romantic.
yeah. And then after one of these big rushes, I'm not joking you, it's like they had just cleared out. It had been like quiet for like 2 seconds. So the store was a mess because the rush had
100%.
just happened. So I'm in back as I'm prepping the mop. My boss's literal 4-year-old daughter comes into the back and goes, "It is a mess out there."
Oh my God.
No,
Wow.
She tells me.
She ripped you a new one.
Yeah, she goes, it looks so bad out there, or something to that effect. And I remember just being like, what the fuck? And that did eventually make its way back up to him, where he was
Of
like,
course.
Yeah. I complained to my manager. I was like, his daughter literally came in and like told me to clean up.
She's literally, yeah.
4.
That's crazy.
That is wild. Oh my
The
God.
froyo boom was kind of insane. I remember there was this place in Madison called Orange Leaf. And like everybody in high school worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody who didn't, we would pretty much go there every single day after high school,
Yeah.
like, and just hang out.
Yeah.
And there were several days where I put on that orange Hello t-shirt and would literally pretend to work there for like 4 hours, completely
You would
unpaid.
what?
All my friends would be sitting there. I would literally be checking people out.
You like just
You're
straight
behind the
up.
desk
Yes.
handling money?
Yes.
Why does that
is
feel like
crazy.
illegal?
No,
It for sure
100%.
is.
It is. Like,
Yeah.
it was so crazy. And we would just do that like every day after school, which I was like, first of all, why am I doing unpaid labor?
Yes.
Why is
Totally.
that fun?
Yes.
Totally.
No.
Now I would never.
No, you no.
Yeah. I might as well have clocked
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. And James and I actually recently went back there because it's next to the Fleet Feet shoes. And I was getting a new pair of running shoes. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll stop in and get some froyo.
Yeah.
Totally.
Just for old
Hey.
time's sake. And I was like, wow, this place is definitely going downhill. They were accepting Venmo as a form of payment.
Wow.
I was like,
my
that
God.
has to be some
That's
sort
so
of string.
interesting.
Like,
You
are
said
you
that wouldn't
evading
happen
taxes?
on my watch.
Yeah, literally.
Right. Do they also accept like Bitcoin? Like that's
No.
crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah.
That was wild.
But they're like one of the only ones that survived. I feel like so many
No,
opened.
Yeah.
I don't know if Yogurt Lab still
They all
exists. I have no
closed.
Yeah.
idea. And like, I remember there's this one time this woman came up to me and was like, she had just put together probably like a $12 bowl of froyo, and she goes, "There's a hair in this," and I was like, "Well, you
It's
fucking put
yours.
it together."
Yeah.
I
Wait,
didn't do
that's
that.
so funny.
Yeah,
You're
and then
like,
she
this
threw it
is
away.
self-serve.
I was like, "Okay, you can make a new one," and she goes, "I'm okay." Throws the whole thing away and walks out. I'm like, "Okay, bye."
See ya.
I was like, I don't fucking care.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh my God, that's so funny too. Cause like any job, that's what's so funny about having jobs in high school.
Yeah.
It's like nobody gives a fuck.
No. And
No.
stop acting like I should. Give
Yeah.
a fuck.
No.
Like, I literally, the only reason I got a job in high school is because my parents wouldn't let me get an iPhone until I got a job.
Wait, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
So I was like, fine, I'll get a job so I can get an iPhone.
No, right.
And then the second I got my iPhone, my parents were like, oh, these are actually pretty neat. Got all of them. I have 5 siblings. Everyone then got an iPhone.
Oh my God. And you're like, you're welcome.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually incredible. I know I really didn't want to get a job either. It just kind of like working, I think still to this day is not my vibe.
Yeah,
Totally.
But it was really funny. James got a job really early. He was working at the Dairy Queen, so similar vibe.
Love
Sure.
Dairy Queen.
And it was so funny. Like, I don't know what it was about that Dairy Queen. Everybody in there was always in a bad mood. And I would go in and he literally wouldn't even smile at me. And I was like, hey,
Hi.
where's my free ice
Yeah.
cream?
Yeah.
Aren't I supposed to be benefiting from this in some way, shape, or form? Yeah, so fucking funny. And everyone was just pissed off. And I was kind of like, how can you be that upset when all you're doing is making ice cream?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah,
What
like
was-
what's so deep there?
No, like,
Totally.
please tell me.
Right. You should be happy when you're
Serving
putting together
ice
my
cream?
Blizzard.
Everyone who's getting ice cream is happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your go-to order?
I'm an Oreo Blizzard girl.
Girl, me too.
Kind of
Same.
simple.
That or a strawberry sundae. Also so simple. They
Okay.
just like scoop that like strawberry is in syrup essentially,
Yeah.
and it is so good.
They had like that crazy like strawberry cheesecake one. I would
I'm
get
not
that
a
every once in a
cheesecake
while,
girl,
but I was
but-
kind of like, maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I always wanted it to be.
I was such a Culver's person that I'm like Dairy Queen who?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get
I
me one of those
agree.
concrete
That's so
mixers.
Wisconsin.
Mm.
Custard is so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually there was a Culver's around here that just opened.
Oh, okay,
And
well,
so,
let's go.
No, like
One also
literally.
just opened in Wrigley,
Yeah.
so they must
Yeah,
be.
they're kind of making their way
Yes.
into the
Yes.
city. And it was actually really funny because James and I were going to go like 3-4 weeks ago, and I only had 2 reviews on it, and all the reviews were like, there's no Culver's here.
Oh.
They're like
What?
1 star, like no Culvers exists. And it must have been like coming soon, but they already put themselves on Google Maps or whatever.
So people like straight up were driving there. Oh my God, that is so
I
funny.
was like, no Culvers exist here, 1 star. And then like a couple days later, we were looking it up because I really wanted Culvers. And
Yeah.
James was like, no, I think that's the one that's not real. And I was like, it seems like maybe it's open now. And we went and it was
Okay.
open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you should update the Google reviews then.
No, literally,
Yeah.
like, poor
5
guys.
stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 stars.
Culver's
Love it here.
It's here. Yeah.
No, I do love Culver's, but something sort of embarrassing about me is I still get a corn dog Team Scoopy meal pretty much every time I go.
I have never heard of that before. I have never heard of that.
I know.
A corn dog.
A
corn
corn
dog?
dog. It's yeah, it's like the kids meal with the corn dog version.
What do you
Totally.
love about a corn dog? What's
Well, something also crazy is that I used to literally viciously hate hot dogs, but I was like,
Oh.
wrap that bitch in cornbread and I
Yeah,
will eat
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
yum?
Yeah.
My mom's never had a corn dog. I was like, what?
That's
Oh,
crazy.
She hasn't lived.
No, she hasn't.
Now
No.
every time, like all the events that happen in the summer, all those little street festivals around Chicago and
Yeah.
stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beeline it to the corn
I'm
dog.
getting a
section.
corn
Okay.
dog.
You're a corn dog girl.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I get. And then, you know, I always get my scoop right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you always know if the Culver's is cool if they leave your scoop on, if they give you the ice cream, but they still leave you with they don't tear it off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Then
don't-
your Culver's is cool.
I see. Because then you get another scoop.
Yeah.
later.
Effectively.
Oh my gosh. 2 for
I don't
1.
even use the other scoop, but it's like, okay, real recognizes
chill.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not taking it too seriously.
100%.
Were you ever out there collecting like the Culver's like Scoopy
Oh,
tokens
of
or whatever?
course. Because if you built up like 10 or whatever, you get a free Scoopy meal.
Totally. I feel like every time I go in with the intention of like I'm gonna save these, where do they go?
I know,
I-
so true.
I've never redeemed a single Scoopy
I
token.
honestly don't think I have either. So I don't really know what the point of saving them was, but it was kind of like a collectible item at that point.
Well, it was currency. It was like
Yes.
as a kid, I'm like, well, this is real money.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Did
you
you
could like
guys-
save up for like a plushie.
Yeah.
Or like a
something.
basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
A
With
prize.
basketball.
Yeah, literally. Did you guys have like open campus lunch in your high school?
No.
So you got it when you were a junior and senior, but I think they got rid of it technically.
Okay.
Because like one year, like a couple years before I was an upperclassman, someone got and like crashed their car or something during lunch.
Oh,
period.
shit.
But then it was like
That's-
Okay,
you
way
would
to
still
ruin it
do
for everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
We would still kind of go.
Yeah. Ours, we had open campus, and it was one of those things where like you have it freshman year, but of course you don't have a car yet. So like
Yeah.
your best bet, we lived across from the mall. You would like
Oh,
run across the street to the
fun.
mall and go to the food court. But then as you progress and people in your friend group started getting licenses and turning 16, the like best thing to do was drive to the Culver's. But it was
Yeah.
at the time, the closest one was in Middleton. So we had to kind of like trek it out. Is one of those things where if you wanted to go to the Culver's, you kind of need to align on that plan before lunch. And
Yeah.
then you're racing to your cars.
Yeah.
How
And
long was
you-
your lunch?
Honestly, it was short as fuck. It was like 35
Okay,
minutes.
okay.
Like really short.
Yeah.
Maybe
Whoa.
40.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first dates that James and I ever went on was a Culver's
God,
run.
cute.
God.
And we like run to the car and then you go through the Culver's line. You don't even really have time to like sit. You're probably getting your order to go.
Yeah.
And then you like race back to school. And now there's a Culver's directly across from my high school. I'm like, y'all have it easy.
Gosh,
Wait,
yes.
were you across from Westtown Mall?
Yes.
Did you go to Memorial?
I went to
Oh my god, well,
Memorial.
Westtown Mall is my favorite place on earth. That food court is literally the best. I'm like
so
obsessed with
good.
that Rocky Rococo's, which I don't think is no longer there anymore.
It's not there
I think,
anymore?
I think Rocky's is out, but I love Westtown Mall.
Yeah.
It's like a hill that I will die on. I think Westtown Mall is like the most magical place on earth.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Honestly, they're putting a lot of money into it. Now there's like a
Good.
fucking David
Oh,
Buster's there.
wow.
It's getting a little bit
I should
crazy.
invest.
There's a
I should
Portillo's.
become a shareholder.
You should.
No,
Stockholder?
literally.
What is
I
it?
think there's
Both.
a mess.
I'll do
Both,
both.
yeah.
I'll do
Okay,
anything
no,
for
let's
Westtown
do.
Mall.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's hilarious. Yeah, I actually used to eat at the Rockies all the time, and it was like I ran cross country, and I don't know how I could even run on this lack of fuel. I would go to the Rockies, and my order was always breadsticks, a Rocky Rococo's cookie, and a pink lemonade, and that's what I'd have for
Yum.
lunch.
That sounds.
You
so
wouldn't even
good.
get the pizza?
I wouldn't even get the pizza.
Oh my god, the sausage and pepperoni super slice at Rocky Rococo's is to die for.
I do
Their
love
sausage
Rockies.
is like
It gives me the worst stomachache I think I've ever had in my life, and it's
Totally.
like worth every second.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Obsessed.
Oh my God, I love that you love them all.
Yeah.
I used to in middle school, if you stayed on the bus long enough, it would like start at our middle school and then it would go to this other middle school, pick up those kids and drop them off. And then like 2 hours later, it'd bring you to the mall. And I would stay on the bus and go to the mall. And then you can like put a little quarter in and lock up your backpack. And then you'd pretty much go to the Apple store and take pictures.
On
Totally.
the
Yeah.
Max.
Yep.
Oh my
Obviously.
God, that was so fun.
And then you go home.
it was, yeah.
All in a day's work.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd go to like the Sharper Image store and like play
Classic.
with like the little massage thing.
Totally.
I kind of miss those days.
Me too.
Yeah.
And like going in the Sephora, you would do your makeup and then you'd go and do kind of like maybe like the pencil, all those funny little effects you could do on the Mac, like
my God,
photo
so much
booth.
fun.
Yeah.
I grew up in Minneapolis, so we had the Mall of America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was
big deal.
That's
so
major.
fun. It is major.
It's really massive in there. I've only
it's
been
so-
once.
oh my gosh,
Isn't there a roller
it's-
coaster?
Yes, there's
Yeah.
a whole theme park. When I was younger, it was Camp Snoopy.
Okay.
It was so cute.
I think
and
when I went, it was like SpongeBob.
yeah, now it's Nickelodeon Universe.
Okay.
And yeah, you can do it all in there. There's a
Love.
theme park. There's like a million restaurants. There's a Hooters.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We one time like went on a field trip and you could get lunch wherever you wanted, and a bunch of guys from my
Okay,
grade got in
bougie.
trouble because they went to Hooters.
Oh my God, hilarious.
In like 7th grade.
Well, it's kind of like if you didn't set the rules
Right,
from the
come
start.
on.
Yeah.
What do you expect the
Yeah.
13-year-old boys to do?
100%.
You let them loose in Mall of America.
Scary
Yeah,
stuff.
That does
yeah.
feel scary.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went there and I was like, wait, there's an Abercrombie, a Fitch, and an Abercrombie and
Yes,
Fitch. Like,
yes.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
This is luxurious. Crazy.
It's
I
a
haven't
great
been there in
place.
forever.
No. It's I wonder how it's doing. I have no
Because
idea.
like malls are kind of dying.
I know malls are dying and it's like a big one.
Yeah.
But they're doing more stuff like a Dave and Buster's where it's like not even so much shopping.
Right.
There's like so much to do there that isn't.
Right. It's
Yeah.
ways to hang out.
It's
and,
an experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So true.
You could live in there if you had to.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
That'd
feel
be
like
my
there's movies
dream.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yours would be like the West Town Mall.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually hilarious. Like, why do you love the West Town Mall
I
so
feel
much?
at home. I feel safe.
Okay,
I feel seen. I'm
totally.
surrounded by community every time I'm there.
I
It is
mean,
like,
there is an Annie Ann's, so
Yeah.
iconic.
yeah, there is.
My mom, there's like a group of women that used to go and kind of like power walk around the mall.
Oh my
People
God.
do that in Mall of America
People
too.
do that
Yeah.
in the Fond du Lac Mall too.
It's one of those things where it's
That
like
is
there
so
are probably
funny.
so many other places you could go. My mom did it once and she was like, yeah, I don't think that's for me, but
No, it just
yeah.
seems. My best friend in high school's mom did that, and I just remember being like, the work of like getting in your car, driving on the highway,
Right.
20 minutes to then
To just
park
be
your
at
car
the
in
mall.
a massive parking garage,
Yeah.
and then just like do a few laps of the.
Under like
in the
those
hallway.
sterile lights. Like
No,
it's like
it's
yeah.
so crazy in there.
Yeah.
I know the mall was getting pretty sad for a while. I feel like a lot of stores have closed, but now I
Uh-huh.
feel like they're trying to bring it back a little.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
feel like online shopping kind of like had a boom and then the pandemic happened and people were so desperate for an in-shopping
Yes.
experience
Yeah.
that they were
Yeah.
like, maybe we'll try to revive the malls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love an in-shopping experience.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Kind of same.
Yeah.
I also love the concept now of like the outdoor, half indoor, outdoor malls like Hilldale.
Sure. Yeah.
Glamorous.
Hilldale glamorous.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
also just like, what do teenagers do? Like, where do you congregate?
No, literally. If not the mall, where?
You know where
Right.
they're congregating by the lake and they're setting things on fire.
Okay, so
the
true.
Teens,
Scary.
The teens are scary.
Crazy.
I
I'm
find
like,
teens to be scary in general.
Totally.
terrifying when it's like, if I like leave work early for whatever reason, I'm like, fuck, why'd I get on the bus at 3:30? Because
100%.
Yeah.
I'm not joking you, just a few weeks ago, like teenagers were literally throwing food at me on the bus, and I'm like, stop that.
They were
Yeah.
bullying
I'm not
him.
gonna like I'm trying to be so chill and not acknowledge you
100%.
guys.
No, I know.
And
Like,
then they
play
all
it
get
so
off the bus and it's like,
because you don't want
they
to
just-
antagonize them or it'll get worse.
No.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna beat me up. I am
No,
a lover,
teenagers
not
are
a
so
fighter.
scary.
So
Yeah.
terrifying.
Especially ones that know how to, like an urban city teenager.
Oh my God.
If they know how to operate public transit,
Yeah.
No.
that is
Yeah.
on a whole nother
There's
level.
no stopping
powerful.
them.
Seriously,
They're too powerful.
No, and it's
So
like this
true.
mob mentality.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, we live right by Lake Michigan, and like we love to hang out by the lake in the
Yeah.
summertime. Those kids need more structure in the summer.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
need something to do.
They need
come.
malls.
They come.
They
and
need malls.
They need malls, and they need better parents. Honestly,
So true.
They are so crazy. It
Yeah.
frankly makes me never want to have kids. They are just openly drinking, and which
I know that-
we all whatever.
I mean,
you do your
yeah.
thing, but they just get so crazy.
But I wasn't
reckless.
doing it at the beach.
No, I was being secretive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're
I didn't
supposed
wanna
to
get in
hide it. That's
trouble.
like the whole point.
We saw a group of teenage boys literally steal this guy's divvy bike, like from him. Like there was like these,
Like a grown man.
no, like an old man.
Actually, like an
probably-
old man.
Wait, that's
like
so
an-
sad.
They were sitting, hanging out by the lake, and then this group of teenagers were like literally like right in front of us. they see that this divvy is
and it's still running or something.
Or,
Yeah, because he
they
like
just,
got
like,
off to take. I think he got off to like take a photo.
They were literally
So
just
they're, like,
admiring
standing right by
Lake
the-
Michigan.
Yeah.
So then they had unaccompanied their divvies, and these teenagers just take it, and so you hear them be like, no, like stop, and we're just like, oh my god, that they just like ran off with this divvy bike, and then sure enough,
horrible.
we're walking home, and they just dump it in the parking lot,
Of
200
course.
yards away. It's like, so for
Yeah.
what? Ha ha.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story
Sick.
you're gonna look back on and be like, I'm so glad that I
So
sold my man's
happy I
TV.
did that.
Right.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they have access to the internet, it's like they are just so scary now.
I
So
know.
scary. But I really think, or the scooters, teenagers and children on those scooters.
know.
I'm like,
Oh, and then they
no.
stack like 5 of them. I'm like, how
Yeah.
many? You have so
No.
many people on these
No,
scooters.
I'm
Right.
like, there are 4 14-year-old girls on that scooter.
No.
On that Lime scooter.
And I can't keep up with the teens these days. The other day I was walking home from working out, and there were these 2 middle schoolers like filming TikTok on their front porch, and they're like catcalling after me, saying like, "Oh, you have the Riz, you have the Riz." And I thought previously that Riz was a good thing, and now
it's bad?
No,
I thought
they're
it was
reclaiming
charisma.
it. Yeah, but now it means it's like you use it as like a joke, like, "Oh, you have the Riz."
Oh
like
my
it's not
God.
like a compliment the way it was 3 months ago.
See, and these
What?
things are just changing too fast.
I
and they
know,
actually
that doesn't
can't
make
keep up.
sense.
No.
Sometimes there are these TikToks that pop up and it's like some girl with like her little sister and her friend and they're like explaining the lingo to her.
Yeah, that's what I saw the TikTok. Well, our friend Emily sent me the TikTok. It was like things my 12-year-old brother taught me on my
Yes.
trip to Italy, and so then you swipe through, and one of them is like, "Oh, Riz is like you used to make fun of people now." I'm like,
Wow,
"Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So I thought these middle schoolers thought I was like cool and hot,
Yeah.
and now they just
You're
think I'm
kinda
gonna
feeling good.
lose
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, and like I'm walking, I'm like, "Oh my god, just got told I have the Riz." Obviously, I'm like texting so many people, and then I kind of find out that it's an insult, and I just then outed
Oh
myself.
my
to
God.
everyone.
And there's nothing worse than kind
Whatever.
of being insulted by a teen. It's like
No.
nothing cuts quite as deep.
No, they know where to get
no,
you.
it is.
Yeah.
They are ruthless.
Seriously.
They are ruthless.
Speaking of kind of like riding the bus, this was while I was in high school, but I remember I thought this one was really crazy. Throwing things on the bus. There were these kids that would throw uncapped Sharpies around on the bus. Yeah, like that's just evil.
That is evil.
Yeah.
I like. What
Like,
if I
ruin your
love?
clothes.
Right, you ruined my outfit.
Yeah.
Not my new Abercrombie and Fitch shirt.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Like I just got this at the mall.
Yeah.
I just got this at
Yes.
Hollister from the West Town Mall.
So crazy. I don't miss those days. I did see too. There was one time that I was it must have been one of my first couple times like riding the L. And there was this kid who was on the L fully by himself in his little school uniform or whatever. And at first I was like, cute. And he was like having a little snack. And I don't remember what he was eating, but like every little, it was like chips or like kind of like a Chex Mix
Yeah.
vibe. Every piece that he didn't like, he would like shove in between the seats.
Oh
like
my
there were like
God.
certain pieces. And I was like, this is so crazy.
That is reckless. That is insane.
And then he like finished off the thing and then kind of like crumpled it up and shoved it in there too. I was like, this is so crazy. Like the life of a like people see you. Everyone on here can fucking
Yeah.
see you.
No, he just does.
That
Could
is
not
Could
give
not
a
give a
fuck.
fuck. Yeah, so wild.
My God.
Good for him. I wish I lived life with
That much carefree
cares,
attitude.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
ignorance
only
is bliss.
imagine.
Totally.
Yeah.
Not me. Not me.
Well, should we get into your good, bad, ugly?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should.
Okay, well, we can kind of do, I'm thinking since I have both of you here, we'll do like one at a time, but we'll do like good, bad, bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Love. Well, who wants to go first?
Do you want to go?
I don't care. Should I go?
Yeah, you do your good first.
So I start with my good.
Yeah.
Okay, my good is masterfully ordering drunk food while you're still at the bar, so
Oh
it's
my God.
waiting for you on your doorstep when you get home. I feel like we have like mastered being on the dance floor at Splash, saying, you know, when it's like the return on investment of the night, you're at
Right.
the opportunity cost of staying longer
100%.
has
Yeah.
caps, and
Yep.
it's like, okay,
Time to go.
It's time to go. But before I go, one
Right.
quick thing: what do you want from McDonald's?
No, so
Yeah.
smart.
You
Yeah.
put in the order and you click buy,
Yeah.
purchase,
Yes.
send, and then you
Mhm.
just wait for your Uber, go home, and it's waiting for you at the front doorstep.
No,
No.
that's...
Name anything better.
There literally isn't.
There isn't.
And you see that little bag, and in the back of my mind, I'm always like, "What if someone grabs it off the street?" Because
Yeah.
we live
Oh,
on Clark Street. It's
no.
and it has never happened. knock on
Okay.
wood.
It is a risk.
Yeah, but I swear we live to, and it's also funny. The McDonald's we order from is about 400 yards down the street. It's
my God,
so
love.
close.
Okay.
But I swear, even though with the close proximity, I think Uber Eats drivers are knowing drunk people are going to be ordering that, and they're sitting there waiting. It is
Oh, I think 100%.
insane how quickly it gets there.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and like when we're Ubering home from Boys Town, it's a 6-minute drive. Like
Sure.
Yeah.
it is just so
Wow, that
insanely
rocks.
fast.
It's so nice.
It's
Well,
so
it's kind of
one
like when you
other
get
thing.
that timing right, it's like, okay, I am literally an engineer. I am amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
the
an
smartest
economist.
person
I'm an
alive.
economist.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, I'm gonna make it a large.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a supersized fry,
100%.
a big Diet Coke,
Yeah.
and my 10-piece nugs.
Massive Diet Coke, McChicken, chicken nuggets.
So true.
And sides of ranch.
So something so crazy is I usually get a quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh my god.
Okay, I can see that. That's better.
okay.
That's better than the corn dogs. At least you're not
That's
ordering
true.
corn dogs
So
at 2 a.m.
true. I usually get a quarter pounder with cheese, a 6-piece nugget, a large Diet Coke, obviously.
Yeah.
Huge fries. Sometimes I get ice cream. Just depends on how I'm
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
McFlurry.
yeah.
McFlurry's good. Not as good as
Yeah.
Blizzard, but it's good.
I know, I agree.
Oh, I just love the soft serve cones too. Do they still do
Yep.
the chocolate dip? I feel like I haven't had a chocolate dipped cone since high
I
school.
feel like it's
but,
always broken or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's always
Yeah,
broken.
yeah.
It's always broken.
They just like won't let you have it.
no.
I do love McDonald's. It is funny. There was like a couple of years there where I really wasn't eating McDonald's at all. And then I feel like it was in college where I was like, oh, drunk McDonald's is literally amazing.
It's so
it is
good.
I also feel like I am one of 6 kids. We ate a lot. I talked to people and they're like, oh, I was never allowed to eat fast food. Could not be me. My mom was like, we just need to get these
Yeah.
fuckers fed.
Yeah.
So I had lots of Happy Meals, tons and tons of Happy Meals. And then I
It's
feel like
a toy, a nice
no,
way to
oh
give
my god,
your kids
a toy! It was
Yeah.
awesome. I loved it. And Monopoly. Oh my god, McDonald's
Oh, Monopoly.
Yes.
so fun.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
And then I feel like in high school, then I was like, oh, fast food is so unhealthy, and now I'm kind of back. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it actually is really good.
No, like,
it does what it
sometimes
has
you
to
just
do,
eat
and
it.
it tastes good. It's cheap. It's quick.
Gets
Love
the
it.
job done.
Gets the job done.
Really helps me feel a lot less worse the next day too.
Yeah.
100%.
Soak that
Yes.
shit
Yes.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like, I really think the key to avoiding a hangover is making sure you eat before you go to bed.
100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
And chug
And
water.
water.
And
Water,
chug,
water,
yeah.
water.
Yep.
I don't think I had like a single sip of water yesterday.
No, I did actually. I was really good.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
really good.
Okay. I'm better.
Okay, brag.
No,
No.
literally.
No, I
I'm
am
jealous.
bragging. I'm bragging,
Next time
yeah.
you need to bring other people in on that experience. Be
Yes.
like, water.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I will.
Yeah, there is something sort of just amazing about getting the timing right on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
And it's kind of like, okay, I thought ahead. I'm a planner.
yeah.
Nobody can stop me. I'm invincible.
No,
Yeah.
stop me.
Totally.
It's kind of the best.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you wait until you get home,
Oh.
it's kind of like you're screwed. Now we're staying up
No, it's
late.
up and I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't even want it
You
anymore.
might even. I've had it so many times too, where I've fallen asleep before the McDonald's actually comes, and then it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
now there's soggy, kind of like 7-hour McDonald's sitting out on my front porch.
We've done that. I mean, I've done that before.
I feel like that's me with like GoPuff orders.
Yeah.
Oh my
if
God.
it's McDonald's, I'm like in it. Usually,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
like
totally.
salivating
Yeah.
and drooling, but
No.
yeah.
And then there have been times where then I'll like kind of forget about it, and so I'm leaving the next day and I just
Yes.
see like the bag. I'm like,
Oh my right.
oh god,
Not
and my
sins
name's
of last
on it. I'm like,
night.
how
Yeah.
humiliating. It literally says my name and my unit. Like,
No, seriously.
embarrassing.
Everyone's like, oh, we know who
there's
did this.
LEIF
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, does that happen to you a lot, Leaf?
Oh yeah, most of the time. Most of the
Totally.
time. When people get it right, I'm like, oh my god, dude,
Yeah.
go off.
Yeah, love.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah, or it's
Yeah,
like,
you're in.
Luke has heard me say this like every time. It's like hilarious when I'm trying to say like tell someone my name in a loud space because I'm literally like LEIF, and they're like LEIF or LEIF, and I'm like no, and so I always say like safe with an L.
Okay.
And that's
yes.
exactly. People are always like, "Oh, T," like
Yeah.
that makes it click. And
That
then they're
one's
like,
working.
"Leif."
Yeah.
I love that. I'm like, "Thank you."
Thank you so much. Yeah, I get that a lot.
But no, Leif. I frankly don't mind it. I like don't correct
You're
people,
like,
which I
I'll
should be
answer
better
to
about
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When my coworker, she's not like on my team, but someone I work with like semi regularly, like and have for a year, calls me Leif, and I'm like,
Wait.
now it feels like it's been too long.
yeah.
No, totally. I mean, if you don't do it right away, you kind of are
You're
locked
in
in.
too
We're on-
deep,
We're
you're
on
in too
group
deep.
calls. I don't want to embarrass you in front of
Right.
everybody.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like, actually,
But also, then she's also embarrassing herself,
Right,
Because 8
'cause
other people
everyone
are
else knows.
His name's Leif. Yeah.
Right.
you're kind of like, so are any of you going to step up and say
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
His name's Leif, like save with an L.
Okay, well, I love that good.
I love
Thank
that
you.
good,
Thank
too.
you guys.
Let's hear yours.
All right, so mine, I went way more broad. I
Okay.
love the specificity of yours, but my good is being silly.
Okay, so true.
Yeah. I love being silly.
There's nothing better.
We were just talking about this before we started recording. Like, people take everything too seriously.
Right.
And, like, truly, my happiest moments are when I'm, like, being so stupid silly
Yeah.
with my friends.
Yeah.
Same.
And like my favorite form of silliness is like the thing that makes me laugh the hardest is when things are so dumb just for the sake of being so stupid.
100%.
I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the brain rot is real, and
Yeah.
it makes everything so hee-haw funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hee hee ha ha.
Yeah.
Lean into the brain rot. Like
Yes.
and like being like I inject silliness wherever I can.
Yeah.
I try to
Yeah.
be silly at work. I want like just be silly.
Because otherwise, what's the point?
What is the point?
We should
Truly,
be
what's the point?
giggling. We should be having a good time.
Mhm. Oh my god, and like silly inside jokes that are just
Yes.
like
Yeah.
so dumb. Like
Yeah.
I feel like my favorite part about being silly is when it's kind of like you're playing adult make believe and like your characters and a
100%.
storyline and you like give yourself new names
Yes.
and everything.
Oh my God, love.
I love
Yeah.
doing that.
It's kind of like, yeah, we have to reignite our childhood like wonder.
no, that's
we call
exactly
it
what
playing
is.
house.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
We're playing
cute.
house.
Yeah, we'll play
Yeah.
house.
Wait, I love that.
There, I mean, and sometimes it honestly we get a little too silly. I would say at
Sure.
times.
No
Like,
such thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
let me tell ya.
Well,
Like our friends had like hosted this awesome like dinner party. Oh yeah, so you were at Spaghetti Western, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one they had last year was like Italian theme. It was just more.
it was like
pasta.
Frank
Okay.
Sinatra.
Yeah,
Sure,
like
jazzy
it was
vibe.
jazzy like mobster vibes.
Yes.
As we're getting ready with our other two girlfriends, we like are talking about this like. And then we suddenly make up names for ourselves, and we make our own like mob family called
my
the
God, love.
Gambinis.
The Gambini.
Oh my God,
So
hilarious. Accents and
it's
everything.
Yeah.
Junior, Georgie, Valentina, and then our friend Martina is just Martina.
Okay,
And we're the
totally.
Gambinis, and then we show up and we're talking in these stupid fucking accents the whole night.
The whole night.
I love
And then
that.
I said that was last year, and then we're like, okay, this year we're gonna rein it in a little
We're
bit.
not gonna-
We're not gonna do
no
it.
more
We go to
names.
Spaghetti Western, which is this year's theme, which
Yes.
is like Western
With just
spaghetti.
pasta.
Cowboy.
Yeah,
And we're
cowboy
like,
with
okay,
spaghetti.
we're gonna play it cool. We're not gonna be so out of control. We have one glass of wine from that boot cartridge
100%.
container, and we have names
It's
already.
like you can't be stopped.
Yeah, Maddie goes, what's everyone's name? Let's make up names. And I'm like, girl, we said we weren't going to do this,
You're
but
like,
it was so fun.
You're
Yeah.
tempting me.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think I even heard
No,
your names
because you
that
guys,
night.
you left.
You had to leave
We
earlier
did,
for another
yes.
party or
Yeah.
something.
No,
Okay,
well, me
what
and
were they?
me and Maddie. well, okay, so stupid, so silly. Me and Maddie were. I don't know how we came up with this, but we were twins, so we were Tilly and Tommy, the tongue twisting twins.
Oh my
And then we would
God.
like pretend to make out.
As you know,
as
you're just playing your
twisting
role.
twins.
We're just Western tongue twisting
Yes.
twins.
Yep.
Oh my God, love that.
Yeah.
Iconic. And
Yeah.
yours?
Well, then Martina was Esmeralda, the
Okay.
woman from the saloon.
Yeah, she had like
Oh,
a
she did
little
have the
corset
saloon
moment.
outfit
It was cute. She had a cute fit on, so she was like the
she
saloon girl.
sewed herself,
That
too.
she, yeah,
Yes, she did.
exactly.
Iconic.
Impressive. Yeah. And I was Simple Dwayne.
Simple Dwayne.
Simple
Oh, and I love that for
Dwayne.
you.
Yep.
There's always got to be one.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's just he's
That's
hanging.
just Dwayne.
Everyone loves him.
Yep.
Oh
that's
my God,
just
hilarious.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, too, where like, why not make the world your stage?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
Totally.
Wait, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I think, you just really do have to kind of like bring some fun into the atmosphere because otherwise it's like, what else do we have to
Sure.
live
No,
for?
exactly.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I am so serious that we need to just be silly.
I know.
I
Yeah.
could not be more.
We need to
serious
be
about
playing
silliness.
house more.
Yeah,
Everyone
play
needs to be
more
playing
house,
So true.
make up more characters,
Yeah.
pretend more.
Pretend.
Yeah, let's play
Pretend more.
pretend. Yeah, 100%. I also love to use the term like playing outside. Like if I need to go outdoors, I'm like,
Yeah.
let's
go.
play
Oh,
outside.
I love that. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to play.
It's time to start playing
Yeah.
outside.
New resolution. Play outside
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I like
Totally.
that.
Totally.
Especially as soon as it starts getting nice, have like a little park day. Like
Little
let's
play date.
go
Oh my
play
god.
outside.
Palmer Square Park, girl.
Yes.
Yeah. Hanging out there.
I have to make more advantage of that next year because I really didn't. I wasn't kicking it out of the park like I should have been.
We've been stocking up on our like park equipment. We
Yes.
have the little outdoor blankets,
Love.
hammocks,
need to get one of
speakers.
those.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I need one of those outdoor blankets. I do have hammocks. I think I got
Nice.
them for my birthday last year and haven't
Oh,
even used
oh,
them.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Let's use
Yeah.
them.
I also recently got roller skates. I feel like that's a good play outside
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
Martina loves the roller skate. You should talk
I
to her
think
about
I kind of need to maybe get like knee pads in practice.
Yeah.
But
That's a good idea.
Totally.
You know.
A helmet.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I don't even have a bike. Like
No,
I don't own
Me either.
anything with wheels.
No, me neither.
No.
So I would never use a bike as a mode of transit, but I think maybe for fun, like I would go on a bike ride.
Same. I would love to be biking in the city, but it's too
I know.
scary.
I'm way too scared.
scared.
Yeah.
I will get hit by a car for sure. There's no
Yeah.
chance. I
Yeah.
don't really know the hand signals. I also can't really like take my hands off of the
No, I'm
Handlebars.
two
Yeah.
hands on at all times.
yeah. It's kind of like I have to think of
Yeah.
myself first.
Yeah.
Totally.
But
Totally.
it's so good to be silly.
Yeah. No.
I love.
That was
Being
good.
silly.
Leif.
Thanks.
That was, really
That was
good.
so good.
Yeah. No, I love being silly.
Okay, let's get into the bad.
I can start with bad.
Okay,
if
you
that
start.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know which one I want to make bad and which one to be ugly, but because frankly, I think they're both
Sometimes
pretty ugly.
interchangeable.
Yeah. I think for my bad, I'm gonna say the 40-hour work week, girl.
Oh my God,
we were talking about this
100%.
yesterday.
Yeah.
9 to 5, 40 hours. We have progressed enough as a species, as humans.
100%.
We do not need to be working.
Literally,
what is the
no one
point of
wants
all this
to.
technology if not to make our lives easier?
Yeah.
And we are
so that
just
we can have more time to be silly.
silly.
Yes. And to
Exactly.
play outside.
Literally.
I will not shut the fuck up about the 4-day, 32-hour
I
work
know.
week. I'm going to keep talking about it, preaching it from the rooftops, because frankly, if you're against that, then you're a freaking loser.
No, it's
Yeah.
kind of
Get a
like,
life. What?
Yeah.
You can find.
okay,
actually,
capitalist stan.
Right.
Yeah.
And what? You want to make your way to the top? Whatever.
Literally.
And guess what? If you want to work so bad on Friday, you can do that
You know,
still.
like, be my guest.
Yeah, get another job actually. That
Yeah.
sounds really gonna go.
Yeah,
for
take
you.
mine,
Seriously.
actually.
Right, yeah. You can have my extra
Have
day.
it.
Yeah.
No,
Please.
So I just am like, there is just not the need. We do not need to be working.
I feel the
40
exact
hours a week.
same. My work puts out these like monthly surveys, and every time they're like, "What would make your like job better? Or what would you make you love to stay at this company?" And every time I'm like the biggest proponent. I'm like 4-day work week.
I also
Yeah.
put that in the
Please.
survey.
Every
I'm
time.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you like submit them anonymously. At this point, I'm like, no, I will stamp my name
Yes,
all over
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yep.
I want to work less.
Yep.
Less.
Please.
Yeah. And they've like done little studies about it in like Europe and stuff, and all of them come back positive.
100%.
Like it
Which,
helps
like,
with employee
obviously-
retention, productivity, and like whatever profits, all that
Yeah.
stuff stays the same because it's actually just fake.
Well, if
Yeah.
you think about it, like on Friday, I am so burnt out from the week.
Oh.
I'm
So
not
burnt
doing
out.
my
Yeah.
best work.
No, like
Let me just have that day.
let me just have that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read a statistic that if you were to go from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week, at the age of 25, by the time you were 65, you'd get 2 years of your life back.
And like, who could argue with that?
Who could argue with that? I don't care who you are. Like, if you're a parent, that's 2 more years with your
Right.
kids. I'm like 2 more years to be silly.
Uh-huh.
Think about
Yeah,
all
so
the funny
true.
Yeah.
jokes you could
And
come
I'm
up
like
with
2
2
more years
extra
at
years.
West Town Mall.
No,
Yes,
literally.
yes.
Think of the time we could be spending at West Town Mall.
I know.
We would be stimulating the economy more. We'd be doing more drunk orders to McDonald's,
Yes.
perfectly timed.
So true.
Yeah.
Yes.
We could really be making use of our best attributes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Well, and it's one of those things too where like we're so young in our working careers, but I'm so overworking. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
everyone is working so much harder than they used to.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the level of productivity expected out of you is so much
It's-
greater.
And it's like, yeah, it's honestly daunting when you really take a step
Yeah.
back and think about it. I'm like, wait, this is what we're
I
doing.
have to do this for 40 more
Right.
years.
Yeah.
What? Like that
I'm
doesn't
ready to
sound
retire
fun.
now.
No, girl, what can we do? How
And
do
I
we
feel
do it?
like I recently saw some video of like, you know, some cute little old man who was like, if I kind of like reflecting on his life, and he was like, if I could do it all over again, like I wouldn't work as hard.
That's
Hell
exact. My
yeah.
dad is 71.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I've honestly kind of went into the workforce with that mentality.
Yeah,
of like,
right.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah.
So I'm happy you're getting that now,
No,
Dad.
right.
But seriously, it's like
Yeah.
I don't.
Because who is this for?
My quality of life I would think I would seriously be just so much more at ease with 4-day work weeks every week.
I know.
yeah.
A 3-day weekend it would just be like
And then it'd be easier to go on
Relax.
vacations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
spend more time with family.
Yeah.
yeah.
So much
and then
better.
people will always be like, well, what about people who work hourly wages? I'm like, well, yeah, girl, we also need to be tripling the fucking minimum wage, whatever it takes
100%.
to make the 32-hour livable.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
with you there. Yeah,
No.
we can do it all.
Yeah. Right. No
Yes.
arguments.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm T.
I know, 100%. It is so crazy too because I feel like now that I'm in my house all the time working, I'm kind of like, I don't need to be doing this for 40 plus hours.
No.
I'm just sitting at this desk, rotting away. I need to stand up. I need to go for a walk. I need to, talk to somebody who
Yeah.
isn't my cat
Yeah.
or my
Totally.
coworker on Zoom.
Totally.
Less screen time.
Yes. Less screen time.
I need to touch some fucking grass.
Yes.
Yes.
Touch
Yeah.
fucking grass.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Totally agree.
Working sucks.
Working sucks.
Sucks.
Like so bad. Even if you like your job, it's kind of like, well, you still don't have to do it as much as they say.
Right.
Right.
And the thing is, too, it's like, no matter what, oh my God. Hey, kitty.
He loves to be on the podcast.
No matter what, like, if once it becomes your job, you're doing it so much that it, like, the fun kind of, when it's like
I
you have to do it
know.
for a living, there's that pressure there that it's like, even if you like really love your job, it's like, it's just work. It
Yeah.
becomes work, and work
Yes.
is tiring, and we should be doing less of it.
And like, yeah, you just kind of have to put a stop to the workday in order to enjoy your life, even if it's like your brainchild, your baby, your company, whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
you got to kind of carve out time for other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I would also happily adjust my lifestyle and take like a 20% paid cut.
No, literally.
I'm like, Take everything. I don't care.
Well, it's one of those things where
Take
like,
everything.
yeah, have it all.
You can take everything else.
Just give me my
give
Friday.
Me that day.
100%.
Give me that 8 hours, please.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things too where like if I think about it, like I would stay at my company forever if they gave me that.
Forever.
Like I'm locked and loaded.
Yep.
And like you said, it would just take one.
No, yeah, because here's what's gonna happen. I do not care what company it is. Like I will. The second there's an opportunity to work somewhere that has a 4-day work week, everyone's
People are
going to be
going crazy.
People are going to be trying so hard to work there. So then the dominoes will slowly fall because if you want to retain your top talent,
For sure.
you're going to have to be like, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like 2 of our girlfriends, their companies since COVID adopted like half-day Fridays all the time now. And I'm like, that's one step closer. Like
Right.
almost
That's
there.
nice.
We're creeping
and
in.
that is so nice. Every
nice.
Friday I'm like, oh, so jealous of you guys.
Well, and that's why I get summer Fridays in the summer, but I'm like, okay, what's the difference? Why take
Right.
them away? If we can
Right.
do it in the summer when we're having the most
Yeah.
fun,
Right.
we
Yeah.
can do it in the winter too. No
Yeah.
problem.
Right.
we should be having fun and being silly 365 days a year.
So true.
Yeah.
So
And companies
true.
need to get on board with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
We're just working for the man.
Working for the
Working
freaking
for
man,
the
girl.
man.
The
We're just
worst.
cogs.
Literally.
Yeah.
In this little machine.
This big ass machine.
Okay.
My
You're
turn.
bad.
Well, mine is less social good oriented. Mine is
Totally.
my bad is quicksand. I saw this
Hilarious.
TikTok that I was like, it was this guy stuck in quicksand, and I said, I don't have what it takes to get out of that.
Very few people do.
I could never. And then so today we're looking up how do you actually get out of quicksand, which is like trying to lay down. How am I going to do that? I'm not going to. And then
Right.
it said that physicists have like measured the amount of like energy, momentum, I don't know the words, you need to pull yourself
Totally.
out of quicksand, and it's like similar to that of lifting a medium-sized car.
Oh my God.
I'm just a girl.
No, literally.
I'm
That's
not getting out of
crazy.
quicksand.
Quicksand
No.
is one of those things that I feel like was always like a huge fear of mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, growing up, it was like in every movie.
Yeah.
Every time, like any adventure of any sort.
So true.
There was quicksand
I
involved.
have a notes app on my phone of things I thought I'd encounter more in life than I actually have. Quicksand top of list.
100%.
Stop, drop, and roll
Oh my God,
maneuvers.
so true.
The Heimlich maneuver, never
True,
done or
true,
seen.
True.
And
Yeah.
wet paint park benches. In the shows, everyone's always sitting on
Oh my
those
God,
and
so
like getting
true.
streaks on their
That's
butt.
true.
But quicksand top of list.
Quicksand is one of those things too where for a little while I was like, is that real? Sounds
Yeah.
like it is.
Sounds like it is.
It has to be.
Right?
Yeah, but I'm like, where? And it's clearly not. I'm not going anywhere.
No, I sort
No.
of rarely encounter
No.
any sand.
Let alone quick.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The sand that I encounter tends to be slow.
Slow moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is quicksand? Like,
Right.
how-
Is it different or is it just because there's a lot of sand and no ground underneath? Like what?
Yeah, yeah. Is it basically just like a sinkhole?
And like, where do you go and you get sucked in to it?
Crazy. Also, so you saw a TikTok of somebody in quicksand?
Like what? You're
And it's like
about
you're
to die. And you're like,
filming?
hey, girls. Like,
Right.
No, someone
I'm
was
going
filming
live.
him.
oh.
Help him.
I think that well, now I'm gonna find the TikTok and I'll send
Okay,
it to you guys
totally.
after because I should read the comments.
Yeah, because I'm like,
What is that movie? There's this movie that was
Holes.
like, there's quicksand in holes.
No, there's sand in holes.
Okay, totally. There's so much sand in holes.
Yeah.
I think it was the slow variety.
Yeah.
No, it's this movie with like this giant dragon. And
How to
there's
Train
like
Your Dragon.
No,
Okay.
it's sort of like not animated, but really old school CGI or something. I don't know.
the greatest story ever told or something like that.
Yes.
The
there's
never-ending
this
story.
Never-ending story.
Yes.
There's
And
quicksand
it's like
in that.
it's
and
like
a horse
furry
dies in it.
dragon.
And I cry and cry and cry. Yeah.
Yes. That horse dying is insane in the
Yes.
mud.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't quicksand.
Heartbreaking.
Oh,
If
okay.
he gets trapped in mud.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Similar issue.
Yes.
Well, this morning after I Googled how to get out of quicksand, I Googled can horses swim.
Oh.
So that's fun that we're talking
Yeah.
about horses
My
too.
cat is giving you he's doing a smile on you. Yeah, it is kind of always so fun to like picture yourself trying to get out of these situations. And in my head, I'm kind of like, no, there's got to be, I think I could do it. But then you see it and you're like, well, actually, I can like, I can barely get out of my house.
I see myself giving up quick.
Yeah.
I see myself giving
Yeah.
in.
This is it.
Yeah.
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 Oh my God. Yeah, totally. Okay, well, maybe I have to reignite my fear of quicksand.
Yeah. It'd be bad. That's my bad.
Totally. Terrible. What a way to go.
What a way to go.
Totally.
Yeah. Makes
I mean,
for a
there are
good story.
worse. Yeah, right.
You'd probably get good attention.
That's so true. Think of the articles that could be written about you.
And any attention is good attention.
That's true.
Go out with a
Bad
bang.
press is good
Yeah.
press.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
simple Dwayne going
Yeah.
down in the quicksand.
Going down.
Just as he would have wanted.
Just as you would have wanted. Yeah.
I wonder like how often people.
How many deaths per year by
year.
quicksand?
And it's like, how many of them? Here's the thing about that, though, that's a little scary. How many are like people didn't even know?
Right.
And they're just swallowed
Oh
up.
my
Oh
gosh.
my god.
Because then you kind of miss your opportunity to become famous. And then it's
That's
kind of like, what
true.
was
Oh,
this
and then
all
what's the
for?
point? What's the point? Oh god.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Completely sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
So we really have to keep our eyes peeled.
But then maybe it's a mystery. So then
okay,
it's
so
like,
true. Then you get a true crime podcast.
Yeah, you get a
Right.
podcast about you.
yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, fine.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Now
wait.
Actually, switching that to good now.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Turns out we love quicksand.
Yeah.
We
Megan
have
is
to
dying
seek
mysteriously
some out.
in quicksand.
Yeah, we're always on the hunt to find ways to be more mysterious.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, love that as a bad.
Yeah.
Let's do the ugly.
Let's get to
Yeah.
the ugly.
I think you start with that.
Okay. My ugly is like minor tech issues. When I'm on a Zoom call and it says poor internet connection,
Right,
what
it's
am I supposed to
2024.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't change anything. So now what?
100%.
The internet's not working?
No,
Or
I
I'm
know.
trying to connect to a new speaker, Bluetooth, pair.
No, literally.
Just do it.
Figure what
Yeah.
am I? How am I? I'm doing everything I have.
Yeah.
I'm using
True.
all the tools
I'm
that have been
giving it
given to me,
100%.
and I don't know what to do. And it is like, it pisses me off. Nothing
Yes.
makes me more irate than not being able to figure out minor tech
Yeah.
issues.
Honestly, that is so fucking real. And I feel like I encounter those things way too often for how technically logically advanced we actually are.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm like decently tech savvy. I can
Yeah.
get my way around. I'm not like my parents are like help me write a Facebook status.
right.
Like I can
Yeah.
typically connect to a speaker,
Yeah.
but when it doesn't work,
Yeah.
oh, my
It's kind of
blood
like we've
boils.
done this before.
Totally.
You guys know each other.
yes,
Right.
Let's make the connection.
Let's make
No.
the connection.
I agree. Where I then also will like get annoyed with myself with how angry I'm getting. I'm like,
know.
God, it just brings out the worst.
It brings out the worst.
Right. Where
It
I'm
brings
like,
out the
it
worst.
is can instantly make me so pissed off when
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, kinda
just not working for no
same.
reason.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, what deep-seated issues do I have inside of me
Right,
that
totally.
this makes me so pissed
100%.
off?
Oh, the amount of anger I take out on my Alexa. If I ask the Alexa a question and the answer isn't what I was looking for, I'm like pissed.
Yeah.
I like get so mad.
Right.
Like Alexa
you
off.
were my-
Off.
Yeah, shut up, bitch.
Literally.
Oh my god, hilarious. That's
Yeah.
actually funny that you have an Alexa because I feel like so many people are so scared of her these days.
Well, I've had the same Alexa for about 7 years.
You're kind of like, I
think.
trust you, girl.
Well, and
Yeah.
then sometimes we are just hanging out and then she'll go, I didn't catch that. And you're like,
Oh.
I didn't say anything.
Right. I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
my God,
She was not a part of the
scary.
conversation. No.
Wow.
I am a
Okay.
little scared of
She
those.
probably knows so much.
She knows so much. Well, she lives in my bathroom, so she doesn't
Okay.
hear too much in there, I don't think.
Okay.
She hears you singing.
Yeah, she hears me singing.
She's
That's
for
true.
sour
Olivia
sauce.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally Olivia
Yeah.
Rodrigo exclusively.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, crazy. Yeah, I used to have one and I never really used it. It was like I feel like I got it on campus or maybe there was this I feel like there was this era when Spotify, if you signed up for like a student membership, they gave you like a
Oh,
free Alexa.
Sure.
And you could pick the color that you wanted. I got like the baby blue.
Yeah.
And she kind of like sat in my house and then I think I got a little spooked by her.
Yeah.
I've heard all the TikTok stories of like, you know, randomly an Alexa will start laughing or like,
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
It is spooky.
Yeah.
I agree.
has she done anything particularly crazy?
I mean, when she talks out
When
of
she just
nowhere.
talks out of nowhere,
And
yeah.
it happens frequently enough where it's like, I mean, it's not like every day, but
Yeah.
it's like, it happens.
It happens.
she's speaking up.
And it's not like it would have been one thing if we maybe said something that sounded like Alexa, but it's
Right.
just like we won't be talking and she just says something.
yeah, that's a little bit terrifying
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, and at least it's one of those things too where for me, I feel like Bluetooth is like the bane of my existence. It seems like it should work so much better than it does.
Right.
Yeah.
And so many things rely on it.
Right.
It was actually really funny. I was like working at my desk the other day and a guy was coming to fix our dryer. And I don't think that he realized that in our dryer is where we keep our sort of like Wi-Fi router.
Sure.
Fully unplugged it. I was like, oh, well,
Thank
there
you
kind of goes
so
my
much.
whole job.
Yep.
It is so crazy to think about too, like how much I rely on technology. Everything I do is on the internet.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
My hobbies, my real job. Like if that goes away,
Yeah.
Right.
that's
Right.
it. That's
it.
everything.
No, the other week, like I pay for our Wi-Fi, so I have like the Xfinity app or whatever. So if there's an outage, I can check. And Luke texts me because I was in the office, and he was like, "Is there a Wi-Fi outage?" And sure enough, there was. And he's like, "Well, guess I can't work."
No,
Yeah.
literally.
Oopsies.
But then I go to the couch and I'm like, hell yeah, I don't have to work. And I try to turn on the Roku.
Right.
I can't watch YouTube because the internet's out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? I'm supposed to
So
read
like,
a
okay,
book?
this is infiltrating.
So
my
you know what I
entire
did? I
life.
grabbed
Yeah.
my iPad and I played on my iPad.
Okay, love.
I'm an iPad kid.
I kind of am
Yes.
too. I like to
love
draw
it.
on my iPad.
I should draw.
You
Well, I
have the
like to,
pen.
so I have the pen. So I use it to click around on my games. I'm playing Catan.
Totally.
I'm playing.
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
He
love
plays lots of
that.
I play like
games on
board
this
games
stuff.
on my iPad.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I play a lot of phone games. Have you ever
too.
played Two Dots?
Yes, I used to love
I
Two
don't
Dots.
think
I'm literally
So-
addicted.
Yeah, I think like in college, I like really I went to
Yeah.
town, and then I think at one point I got a new phone, and then it got me erased all my
Sure.
progress, and I was like, well, we're
Yeah.
not starting back.
We
from square
can't,
one.
right? No, it's too
I
scary.
made it so far. Yeah.
There was a little while where it was a bit scary. I was like cracking my eyes open in the morning and immediately playing my Two Dots, and I was like, okay, well, this is getting a little unhealthy.
I will always like play a game right when I wake up on my phone.
Word
'cause I think
all. I'm like those New York
Same.
Times games. Yeah.
connections, and I love the new one, Strands. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's so
Same.
fun.
I pretty much just do the Wordle and the connections. For some reason, crossword puzzles in my brain just like don't mix, so I don't do
Sure.
those.
Sure.
I have recently gotten into those. They're fun.
They have the Sudoku, which I used to do, but
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while.
I'll do a crossword on the bus on the way to work.
Okay,
Oh,
love.
that's nice.
That's kind of a nice little ritual.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know a phone game is kind of like, a little treat in the day.
Yeah.
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 I always try to get myself to not do them once if I stay up past midnight. I'm like, you can't play it yet. You can't
Yeah,
play it
yeah,
yet.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
for tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Save it.
Totally.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. But yeah, technology does kind of just piss me off like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Totally.
And it's so hard because like I feel like I walk that line of like I know what I'm doing for the most part, but then every once in a while I'm like, okay, if the stars could just align and make this work,
Yeah.
I don't have time to do this research.
Yeah.
No.
Or like when social media stops working, I'm kind of like, you guys aren't supposed to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm also like, don't ask me too many questions. Don't ask me what a router is compared to a modem.
So
I'm like,
true.
don't ask me questions.
Right.
No.
Those are just buzzwords.
Buzzwords.
Yeah, means nothing.
Yeah.
No.
So true.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, how about your ugly?
All right. So my ugly, I'll have to explain it a bit, but my ugly is cars.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke has heard me. This is like something I've really thought a lot about.
All right.
I love the convenience of a car. Being able to travel long distances, really important. But I like recently got into like such a cynical mindset about it where I just like took a step back and was like, holy shit, our entire like civilization and city is built around these cars.
I know.
And they are so, in a way, inefficient.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. Like the streets. I'm like, can we have wider sidewalks, please? And like,
Yeah.
They take up a lot of
they
space.
take up
Yeah.
so much space.
Yeah.
Traffic is so bad. Like it took kind of a long time to get here. I'm like, what's the point of this
Yeah.
car if it's still going to take me 35 minutes
No,
to go
literally.
3 miles?
Right.
And then you're paying like double, triple the price.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I currently don't own a car and I would love to
Same.
not ever own a car.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to like
I feel
never
the
have to own
same.
a car. And I like feel like I think a lot about climate change, and knowing that cars are the main reason, it just fucking grinds my gears.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like stuck in traffic on the way to work. And if you look into every car, it's
One
like
person.
It's one
Yeah.
person in
Yeah.
all of these cars. Like everyone should just get a scooter or something,
No,
maybe like
for
an
real.
electric scooter. Like I don't
Hop
know
on
what
the
it
bus.
is. Get
Yeah.
on the bus.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is like we need to stop incentivizing cars. We
Yeah.
should frankly be making it less convenient. Like
That's so true.
more people need to be taking the bus, then
More
there'll be
bus
less
lanes.
cars.
Yeah.
Give me an express lane. I
Yeah.
want to be zooming past all these fuckers in the cars on the bus.
That's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, we need to, and like separate bike, like separate. I want there to be a physical barrier between the cars and the bike
Yeah.
lanes, express
Right,
lanes
no
for buses.
crisscrossing.
If you really want to take your car, all that space to yourself, you can, but it should
Yeah.
be less convenient.
I actually think that that's so true, and it's. I don't want a car either.
Yeah.
I famously am so scared of driving in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really scary to me.
Yeah.
And I drove all the time in Madison, which is more of a drivable city anyway.
Totally.
But now I think that they would put so much more money into the public transit system here if like it was kind of the only option.
Totally. And like also I don't drive that much. It's usually like when I'm home or something.
Yeah,
And
same.
I sometimes get so angry
I know.
behind the wheel where I'm like, this
road
is
bridge
just
is so
not
real.
worth
Yeah.
it. Like,
I know.
what is happening? It's just really not that deep.
Yeah.
Once again, just too serious.
Right.
Myself included. I'm
Yeah.
taking this way too seriously. And then forgot where my head was going with that. But yeah, road rage. Don't
I
like the
know.
feeling of it. And then the last thing is that think about all the green space that we got rid of for fucking cars.
Parking
Yeah.
Oh
lots.
wait, one more thing. The Lakeshore Drive. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
Yeah.
There's a highway.
Right. On
Let's
this
get
beautiful
rid of
space.
it.
Yeah.
I want it gone. Once
Yeah.
again, I don't care if that's how you get to work. It shouldn't be that convenient then. Then you can take the metro or something. Like, I don't care.
No, like, please.
It should just
Yeah.
be a giant green pasture.
Yeah.
It would be so pretty. Like,
I
I have to
know.
go under the highway. under
Yeah.
a little tunnel just to go
Yeah.
hang out at the lake.
100%.
So gross.
That is gross.
It sucks. It really sucks.
I will say I am like the cool thing about the Lakeshore Path is that they accept that like one luxury apartment building that somehow found a loophole. I love that there's no buildings.
Yeah.
on,
Yeah, that's
on
fair.
the side of the highway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
kind of like let's get rid of the highway too.
Right. Let's get rid of
Yeah.
that highway.
Why stop there?
Totally.
Right. No, I'm just like, this is such a, like, I'm obsessed with, like, I thought about doing Lake Michigan for my good. I love, love.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I hate it. And I love Lincoln Park, but then I also think there are too many streets in there.
Yeah.
Just,
I know. Like let's stop driving in the city.
yeah. Oh my God. And I love the power that I feel with pedestrian right of way.
Oh my God, I was waiting to
100%.
see if you were going to bring
Yep.
this up.
Yep. I'm walking into that fucking intersection. I do not
Okay.
care. You
He
can
is
slam on your
bold though. Like he is gonna get hit.
Get hit.
Well, so I got hit by a car.
I got hit by a car once too, but it was a Prius.
Oh, well, that's sort of almost like a little bit insulting. It's
Yeah.
kind of like you're actually not allowed to do that.
No,
Yeah.
it was embarrassing.
Yeah, getting hit by a car is embarrassing. That's what they don't fucking tell you.
No.
Because I was on foot and I had the right of way. And it was like a guy who was turning, making a left-hand turn or whatever. He just wasn't paying attention. It was like my first week of living here.
Yeah.
And I was like leaving my little WeWork downtown, River North, where there are famously tons of people everywhere.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I'm like walking across the street and he doesn't hit me very hard. He was like
Yeah.
taking a turn, so he was going pretty slow, but he like knocked me off my balance. My wallet goes flying into the like oncoming
Oh my
traffic.
God.
It was like literally so crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And I like blacked out because I was like, oh my God, I just got hit by a car. This is nuts. And then he like, rolled his window down, tried to ask if I was okay. And of course I'm fine, but I was like trying to think of something like sassy to say because like you just fucking rammed into me with your car.
Yeah.
Well, all I could muster up was, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
And I kind of like spit it out at him. And then I
Yeah.
like walked across the street and this woman was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then it's so like urban city where I get to the next block and I'm like, oh, nobody over here knows that I just got hit by a fucking car.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sort
Totally.
of crazy mind
Totally.
space to be in.
No, one time my friend Maddie was like, what if you get hit and you get hurt? And I'm like, well, then I probably won't have to go to work tomorrow.
But what if you get hit by a Prius and it's so embarrassing? When I got hit by my Prius, I was
So
on the phone with my
embarrassing.
friend Kyle on the AirPods, and I was like, "What?" Similar situation. I was crossing. They were turning right, but they were supposed to be stopped or something,
Of
and so they
course.
went when they weren't supposed to. And he was again going slow when he hit me, and I was like so pissed. I like wind up and kick his car so hard, and like fuck you.
Oh my
and then
God.
he speeds off because I think he was shook that he just hit a person.
For sure.
And it was like, but I was on the phone as this was happening, so it was like kind of embarrassing for me.
Oh
too.
my God.
And my friend Kyle was like, "What just happened? Are you okay?" And then someone pulled over and like asked, like, "Are you okay?" Good, but I didn't get hit that hard, and it was fine. But I
Yeah.
was like similar. I was like
No,
bad.
it's of course.
And then of course I was a fucking silver
No, but
Prius.
I should be more careful.
Well,
Yeah.
it's good. That definitely means you have kind of like when it comes to fight or flight, you're fight.
Oh, I'm fight.
Love that about you.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Stuff with the quicksand. Then I'm flight.
Sure.
Then I'm folding.
Yeah, kind
and
of like
going down.
giving in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people are just so reckless in their cars. I am like, you
No,
need
that's
to
why I'm
slow
scared to
down.
drive here.
Yeah.
Even I actually think it's worse like in the neighborhoods than it is downtown. People over here just don't follow the rules.
They like will roll a stop sign, and that's when I'm like, girl, this is a residential area.
I know.
Like,
Right.
why are you acting like there might not be, like, don't drive assuming no one's gonna be there.
Right.
Or sometimes when people just like peel out of an alley.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say coming out of the
So,
alleys.
yeah.
Yes.
No.
Also, the alleys here, I mean, don't get me wrong, love having like a garage and everything, but holy shit, ours is so impossible to get out of. There have been
Yeah.
like a couple instances where I've tried to drive James's car and I'm like, good thing we got bumpers on
Yes,
those bad boys.
yes,
'Cause
yes,
I'm
yes.
slamming into
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, I am so bad behind the wheel. I didn't think I was a bad driver, but I think I claim that identity now.
Yeah.
I'm like hyper careful. People say that I drive like a grandpa.
Okay, I think that's
Probably
good.
Yeah, and like people like make fun of my posture because I'm like really up straight. Like,
I will say the last time I have to go to Madison for work all of the time. It's like once a month.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I've famously been bumming rides off of like everybody I possibly could, my other coworkers. And then this last time it was like very much my turn.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to. I'm
No.
scared. And I was like, but you can't kill your manager.
right,
No.
right.
No,
can't
you
do that.
shouldn't
No.
do that.
So I was like, okay, I have to get it together. And I like drove us all the way there. And I must have been so fucking stiff that whole ride because by the time I got there, I was like in so much pain.
Yeah.
And that's like 2.5 hours
Yeah.
of sitting in a position
Yeah.
that you probably shouldn't be sitting.
No,
Yeah.
I am a passenger princess. Like,
Yeah, oh,
I
same.
don't need to be behind the wheel.
I love to have my little beverages, hands
Yes.
free.
Yes.
Sort of
Dabbing.
famously not looking at the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
and-
want to be behind the wheel.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
I want to be in control. I want to be
Yeah, I
the
don't have
driver.
that.
That is so funny. Yeah, no.
Then you guys make a good pair as far as
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
somebody always can be responsible for the driving.
Yes,
true.
Do
but
you have a
don't put
car?
me in charge
No.
of directions either. I
Oh,
will
yeah,
forget.
same.
Yeah.
But that's what
I'm so
Google
directionally
Maps is for.
challenged. I think that's another reason I actually don't like driving is because like I have to pay attention to my maps.
Yeah,
And then I
right.
never know where I'm going, and it's so hard to navigate.
Yeah.
And if you make a wrong turn or something, or like if you at the last second need to merge, people get so mad at you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like I'm just a girl trying to get by.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
It's just a girl trying to get by.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing my best.
Yeah.
But no, it's like the anger it brings out of everyone, the
Right.
lack of green space. There's just, or like when you, I feel like the least cute parts of Chicago are like the areas where it's like strip malls with giant parking lots.
So true.
Like it's just not cute.
No, they're really
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah, so ugly.
Concrete sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Aesthetically.
The only cool thing about concrete is drawing on it with chalk and
So
being
true,
silly.
and being silly
Yeah.
and playing outside.
Played outside.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
True.
Uh-huh.
True.
Okay, well I do love that.
Yeah.
It is ugly. We should all stop
Cars are
driving.
ugly.
We
Yeah.
should throw the keys away.
Throw away the keys, girl.
Literally.
Yeah, no. And we need, less single-use cars.
I know.
So
it
true.
really is so bad.
It is. I hate them. They're
Yeah.
so annoying. They're everywhere.
And it's kind of like nobody wants to be driving when they are.
No.
Maybe if you're going on like a long road trip, sometimes that can be, you can romanticize
Yeah.
that a little bit.
Totally. And I do. And that's when it's like the cars become convenient. When you like really need to go somewhere far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, my like 3 miles to work. I'm like, I can take the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of love taking the bus. I never took the
I love
bus
it
in
too.
Madison, but I'm like bus girl all the way.
Yeah. No, I really like the bus. And frankly, the only thing I don't like about the bus is the traffic. And whose fault is that? Everyone sitting in their 5-seater
And the
by
teen
themselves.
and the teens throwing candy
Yes,
at you.
and the teens throwing candy at
Oh my
me.
god, yeah, that does kind of make the bus experience a little.
Yeah.
There should be maybe separate teen bus,
Bus,
and
yeah.
adult bus.
Yeah.
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 Totally.
Yeah, this one is for y'all.
Yes.
And
Or
I'm
like
gonna be in this one.
Yeah.
or like a security guard on the bus.
Yeah, so true. I
Yeah.
feel like we kind of did maybe have that in middle school.
Yeah. I did not.
You needed one.
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I loved having you both on this podcast.
This was so fun.
This was so fun.
I loved it.
I have to
good.
say, I'm such a fan of the pod, and you know what they always say,
You're
like,
so
never
sweet.
meet your heroes.
Oh my god.
But this really lived up to its expectations and its hype. This was a
Yay.
blast.
This
Okay,
was so
well,
much
that's
fun.
Yeah.
music to my ears. I'm glad you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, I want to ask both of you: is your hater mode activated today? And you could be honest.
Yeah.
My hater mode's always activated.
Yeah.
Kind of same. I love being a hater.
No, I'm such a
Yes.
hater. I was thinking about how much I hate cars in the car ride here.
Love that about you. You're like really gearing up. We're like practicing for
yes.
the pod.
Yes.
One of the goods I was contemplating was good tea, like just trying to
Oh,
get the good
yes.
gossip. And if I'm being honest with myself, the root of wanting the tea is because my hater mode is activated.
like
Yeah.
I'm
and
kind
like,
of
give
trying
me
to
something to
form
be
an
a little
opinion
judgy
something.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love being a judgmental bitch.
Same.
It's so
Yes.
fun.
Same.
It doesn't hurt anybody. I'm not saying it to your
No.
face.
No. And you just need to get it off your
saying it
chest.
behind your back.
Yeah. And I'm thinking it in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is kind of like my favorite thing to be a hater.
Yeah.
Not everyone loves it, but I'm kind of like, it's boring to be positive.
And
all
it's
the
called
time.
being a realist.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're being unrealistic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're just kind of being honest. We're living our truth.
We
Yep.
are. We are. Yeah.
And sue me
No,
for that.
literally.
Then sue me.
Yeah. If
But
you
don't-
wanna
but
write a
don't.
formal complaint.
Yeah.
But we're just kind of going to be over here talking our shit.
Yeah.
Right. And like be nice and be silly for the most part, but you
100%.
need to talk some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm talking shit about the people who aren't being silly.
Yeah.
If you're being silly, you're safe.
Right.
Yeah. Luke
Yeah.
says that I never talk shit, which I disagree with. I think I do.
He doesn't talk shit.
James doesn't talk shit either. And I always try to get him to talk shit. And it's really hard.
Yeah.
Aubrey texts me 6 times a day. What's the tea? Any
No,
good tea?
literally same.
Any good gossip?
She texted
Yeah.
me last night at like 1 in the morning and she was like, any good tea? Any good tea
So
from last
funny.
night?
No, she
So
texted me this
funny.
morning too and was like, did you get any good gossip last night? I'm like, Aubrey.
She's so funny. I know. That's one of those things where like, I'm not that desperate, Aubrey. I'm going to find out about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love it.
I love
good
it.
tea.
I love
so
it.
good.
Well, thank you guys for coming on
Thanks
this
for having
podcast.
us.
This was
Woo.
so fun.
This is so
You're
fun.
both going to have to come back.
I would love to.
I would
This is
love.
amazing.
Yeah, I have more good, bad, uglies,
Of
girl.
course.
Yeah. I got some bads and uglies.
They're ruminating.
They
Yeah.
are. And now I'm going to like, as I'm going through life, kind of mental note.
Yeah.
No, I literally have like a little list in my phone and I just keep adding shit.
Yeah. So good.
I love
So
Whoop, whoop.
amazing. Well, thank you guys for listening. We will talk to you again next week. Bye.
Bye.